Formula One is one of the most anticipated sports in the world, with fans in various countries around the world, including Brazil, Mexico, Germany, Russia, and the United States. This fast-paced world of cars also has teams that the fans love and are always cheering on. This video is for Formula One fans, but if you're new to the world of Formula One, you're on the right channel because we are going to talk about everything you need to know about the most prestigious motor racing competition on the planet. First, let's take a look at why Formula One is so popular all over the world. The best and most famous single-seater car race in the world is Formula One, also written as F1. An international auto racing championship called the Grand Prix is held every year and is made up of a number of races. The races take place on both purpose-built tracks and public roads. The fastest cars can go over 200 miles or 321 kilometers per hour. The Formula One World Championship was created in 1950 by the FIA, which is in charge of international racing. The competition has 10 teams and each team has 2 drivers. The teams compete in 22 races around the world. At the moment, there are 23 races scheduled in 2023. In 2024, there will be a record-setting 24 races in a single season. It has a lot of fans, and millions of people watch it all over the world. People from all over the world go to and watch this car racing event. It has a long history, which will be covered on many more upcoming videos. So make sure you hit the subscribe button to see more of our upcoming content on F1. Now, why is Formula One so well known? There are a number of reasons why Formula One's popularity is at an all-time high, but I'll explain the most significant reasons for Formula One's success. One of them is the world's reach. The sport's popularity around the world has helped it gain a wide range of fans. Hosting races in different areas lets F1 connect with the local fans and use the passion of people from all over the world. One more reason is that F1 is known for engineering and technology that are on the cutting edge. This sport has been at the cutting edge of new ideas in areas like materials, data analysis, aerodynamics, and the creation of powertrains. Fans are interested in the intersection of racing and advanced engineering because cars use cutting-edge technology and are always trying to achieve better performance. For F1, there have also been more drivers with personality and skill who have won fans' love and respect. People all over the world know drivers like Ayrton Senna, Michael Schumacher, Lewis Hamilton, and Sebastian Vettel. Their battles and personal lives off the track give the races more depth and make the narratives more interesting for fans to follow. When we talk about rivals, it is known for having fierce rivalries between teams, which makes the game more dramatic and exciting. These rivalries, which are often sparked by the desire to win titles, and personal rivalries between drivers make for interesting stories that keep fans' attention. Formula One is also very famous because of the glitz and glamour that surrounds it. Cities like Monaco, Singapore, and Abu Dhabi, which are known all over the world, host the races. A lot of famous people and VIPs are seen at the races, which makes them even more appealing. As for the drivers, they are also celebrities and have their own fan bases. This makes Formula One the perfect mix of sports and entertainment. Now let's talk about the current F1 teams that are competing. There are 10 teams competing in the F1 Constructors' Championship. These teams are Mercedes, Red Bull Racing, McLaren, Ferrari, Alpine, Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo, Haas, AlphaTauri, and Williams. 2 drivers and a group of engineers, workers, and other helpers make up each team. Max Verstappen of Red Bull Racing is the reigning World Drivers' Champion, winning the title in 2021, 2022, and 2023, putting him in elite company among Formula One's greats. In 2023, Red Bull also won the Constructors' title, making it 2 years in a row. You might ask, what is the Constructors' Championship? Points are used to decide who wins the F1 Constructors' title based on where their cars finished in each race, and these points are given to teams. The winner of the Constructors' title is the team with the most points at the end of the season. Each race's top 10 finishers get points. First place gets 25 points, second place gets 18, third place gets 15, fourth place gets 12, fifth place gets 10, sixth place gets 8, seventh place gets 6, eighth place gets 4, ninth place gets 2, and 10th place gets 1. The 11th through 20th places will get 0 points. These are also given out separately for each race, and the 2 cars with the most points for the team count toward the total score. This is the same way that the names of constructors and drivers are given out. For For constructors' points, on the other hand, teams add up the points that both of their drivers get. The better a team does, the more money they can use in the following year's competition. Numerous famous individuals have won the Formula One Constructors title over the years. There have been 16 Constructors titles won by Ferrari, which is the most of any team. The next team to win is Williams, who has 9 wins. Mercedes, Red Bull, and Lotus are just a few of the most famous teams in the history of the sport that have also won the Constructors title. It's also important to note that some teams have had great runs and won multiple titles in a row. For example, between 1999 and 2004, Ferrari won 6 championships in a row. From 2014 to 2021, Mercedes won 8 championships in a row, which is the longest championship streak in history. Then what are the typical race schedules, and what is the importance of qualifying sessions? Formula One race weekends are very popular events that millions of people from all over the world look forward to. FP1 stands for First Practice. The F1 race weekend usually starts on Friday with FP1. During this session, the drivers can get used to the road and make any changes to their cars that they need to. Along with that, it lets the teams try out new car parts and setups. Everyone who drives is welcome to join the 90-minute lesson. The second practice session, FP2, happens later that same day and is set up the same way as FP1. It's important for the teams to get more information from this session so they can make their cars better for the race. In FP2, the drivers usually push harder to learn more about the track and how their car works. Finally, FP3 takes place on Saturday. This is when things really get going. Before the very important qualifying practice, this is the last chance for the teams to make any last-minute changes. In this practice, the drivers will push themselves even harder to get a feel for the track and finish getting ready. Qualifying is the most important part of Saturday. It is broken up into 3 parts, Q1, Q2, and Q3. In Q1, each driver has 18 minutes to record the fastest lap time. The 5 slowest cars are then thrown out, and the drivers who are still in the race move on to Q2. In the second round, the fastest 5 cars are thrown out, leaving the top 10 drivers to compete in the third round. Each driver has 12 minutes in Q3 to set their fastest lap time. On race day, the driver with the fastest time will start from the first, also known as pole position. In Formula One, qualifying is very important because it decides who will start on the grid. Most F1 tracks make it hard to pass other drivers, so a good qualifying run can give a driver a big advantage. When a driver starts at the front of the grid, they have a clear path ahead of them and can set the pace of the race. The F1 race weekend comes to an end on Sunday with the race, which is the big event. The length of the race changes from track to track, but it usually lasts about 90 minutes. The drivers compete on the track using their skills and strategy to get ahead of their opponents and end in the top 3. Whoever is the first driver to cross the finish line after the required number of laps is the winner. When we talk about races, we need to talk about the famous F1 tracks around the world and the most significant race that you will see there. One of the most important races in Formula One is the Monaco Grand Prix. The race takes place on the Circuit de Monaco, which has small and winding streets. This makes it one of the toughest and most expensive races of the year. Since 1955, the race has been a part of the Formula One World Championship. It has a past that goes back to 1929. Fans and drivers both love this track because it has fast turns, changes in elevation, and barriers that are close to the track. The race is also known for its glitz and glitter, and every year, famous people and other important people attend. Fans think that the 1984 Monaco Grand Prix was one of the best races in Formula One history. There was a tough race between Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost, and Senna won in the end. Next is Silverstone, which is where Formula One got its start. In 1950, it hosted the first World Championship race. It has been changed a few times over the years, but it still has that old-fashioned look. The British Grand Prix has been on the Formula One schedule since the beginning. It has passionate fans and weather that changes quickly. Individuals think that the British Grand Prix in 1987 was one of the best races ever held at Silverstone. Nigel Mansell and Nelson Piquet raced against each other in the rain, and Mansell won in front of his home crowd. Last but not least, we can't talk about cars and races without talking about the drivers. Let's look at some of the biggest names in Formula One right now. Lewis Hamilton is without a question one of Formula One's biggest stars. 7-time world champion, he is known for his lightning-fast speed, perfect racecraft, and unwavering determination. He drives for Mercedes right now, and is on track to break a lot of records this season, such as the record for most world titles won and the record for most wins in a single season. Max Verstappen, who drives for Red Bull Racing, is Hamilton's top rival on the grid. Since making his debut in F1 in 2015, the young Dutchman has proven himself to be one of the best drivers on the grid. Max is known as a fierce rival because of how aggressively he drives and how easily he passes other cars. Hamilton and Verstappen are now competing for first place in almost every race, which has made their competition stronger. Charles Leclerc from Ferrari is another driver to keep an eye on. The French driver has gained a lot of fans in just a few years, thanks to his amazing speed and skill. Leclerc's rivalry with Sebastian Vettel, his partner and four-time world champion, was a big story during the 2019 season. However, the two have since made up and are now working together to help the team win. Aside from how well they can drive, every F1 driver has a unique attitude that makes them stand out on and off the track. Daniel Ricciardo, for instance, is known for having a smile that makes people feel good and being friendly. The Australian driver, who currently works for McLaren, is a fan favorite because he is so friendly and can make everyone laugh. Fernando Alonso, an experienced driver who returned to F1 this season after a 2-year break, is known for being very focused and determined. The two-time world champion doesn't put up with anything and is always pushing himself and his team to the edge. Well, Formula One fans, did you enjoy the video? If so, please consider subscribing so you always stay updated in the fast-paced world of Formula One. For the new and current F1 fans, we hope that you had a great time today and enjoyed this beginner's guide to the wonderful sport of F1. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next video.